Sakshi, hi, welcome. Congratulations on your excellent result. Congratulations on getting AR2. I hope you must be really feeling on top of the moon right now.
Yeah, surely.
Yeah, correct. So, been giving a lot of interviews, a lot of phone calls. I think the phone must be never stop buzzing.
It never stopped since 2 p.m. yesterday.
Very nice, very nice. Fair enough. Great. So we wanted to do a session with you to understand, how you prepared, or what is the advice, or what is the kind of motivation that you can give to fellow students who are pursuing CA. Right. So we wanted your view or your guidance in terms of how people can approach the exams, and that is the context of this overall interview. Fair enough. So I want to first ask you, I believe you also got AR1 in CA intermediate, or I think it was IPCC, right? You, May 18.
It was intermediate.
Is intermediate. Okay. So you got AR1 and now AR2. And I guess this time you missed AR1 by 1 mark.
Yeah.
Yeah. So has it always been a plan for you to, you were targeting AR1, or was it, you were targeting a rank in general, or you were generally preparing? How was your, thought process?
So basically, the thought process, whenever I study, and this has been since my school times, the basic objective of mine whenever I study a thing is to complete it comprehensively. I would not leave anything from my side. I just hate that feeling when we come out of exam hall or after the exams that we think, "Kash, मैं वो कर लेती."
I know. Yeah.
So I actually hate that feeling. So whenever I study for any school or chartered accountancy for that matter, I just try to cover the entire syllabus to the extent I can. So I won't have any regrets later on.
Okay.
And the ranks and the excellent results that I got are the, you could say, the end result of it, but I never specifically targeted it.
Yeah, actually, so that is one of the question a lot of students, and even I have for that matter, is your approach. Right, even though you clarified it saying that you study with the approach of a comprehensive preparation, but there is always this one question that people have, which is the smart study versus hard study. Is it smart work versus hard work? So is there any analysis that you would have done saying last 3 years these are the questions that have come, this is the most important topic, I should prepare more on this, I should spend more time on this, necessarily let's say auditing standards and auditing necessarily come for some X marks, 30 marks, 20 marks, so I should concentrate on that, or SFM there'll probably be a question from this aspect. So like that, did you actually think of it anytime, and was there any kind of strategy directed in your preparation, or was it you were more keen to learn everything and as it goes, let us see how it goes?
To be honest, I personally believe when you are appearing for CA panel for that matter, you shouldn't study just for clearing out your exams. Because after CA panels, you have to face the real world.
Correct.
I mean, there isn't कि okay ठीक है अब CA final भी होगा तब देख लेंगे कि असली में क्या होता है.
Correct.
So there isn't anything कि ये exam में पूछा जाता है तो मैं ये ज़्यादा पढ़ूंगी या वो कम पढ़ूंगी. So the basic strategy was कि like there are some topics for me personally I'm pretty comfortable with the practical aspect, the numerical things. Say I would devote less time to them and I would devote more time to theoretical subjects like audit and law.
Okay.
So that was the strategy to cover all the aspects, not to like 2-3 exams में इसमें से questions आता है तो I would cover more of it. That was not the planning I had.
So it was fairly a comprehensive this one, right? Fair enough. And just going back slightly, so you were a foundation student or a direct entry student?
CPT student.
CPT student. Okay, okay, fair enough. Great. So after getting this AR1 in inter and AR2 in final, what is your next plan?
And the next plan is, as you might be aware, I am pursuing CFA as well. I just applied for L1 in August itself. So I'll complete it, say probably 1.5 years. And along with that, I'm planning to be in a corporate world, in some finance-related jobs, maybe a corporate finance, business finance team, or if possible, the investment banking domain. So that will go for around 1.5 years, and then depending on the results I get from CFA and the situations back then, I'll decide on pursuing further studies, maybe in management.
Okay, so you may want, so you have this idea of probably you may pursue an MBA program at later point of time. Okay, nothing on UPSC or anything like that, or own startup or anything, nothing like that?
I would say own startup, I don't know, but I think that requires a great idea and a great execution team.
Correct.
So if anything flicks like that, I would definitely pursue it. But till now, nothing out of the ordinary has come to my mind to.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. So now just coming back to our, the exam preparation part, which is what most of the students are interested in. So this is one question, I usually have for any CA student or for that matter, especially the top rankers. Because what tends to happen is, when you're studying, what was your preparation duration? I mean, how long did you prepare?
I got 3 months leave.
Okay. And only, so before that you had finished all your classes?
Yeah, classes were finished back before then, and I guess one revision was also done back.
Okay, so last 3 months was basically revisions and mock tests and all of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question that I have for you, or rather for most of the people, what they think is when you're preparing, right? There are times when you're like, I don't know if it happened to you, but you're like, "Yaar, nahi ho raha hai. Just I'm exhausted. I don't want to do this any further. Kal karta hu." Things like that. Did you face stuff like that in terms of saying that you're just exhausted, like, no, I need a couple of days break, or you lose motivation, ki bahut ho gaya, things like that?
So it happened with me as well, especially when the exams were postponed for the first time. So
Correct.
It was difficult to study because when our exams were postponed, there wasn't any date as well. They just said they'll let you know the date. So I wasn't having any time frame. It could be 10 days from now. It could be 1 month from now.
Yeah.
So that was an uncertain period. But what particularly happens with me, if I waste say 2 hours, 3 hours contemplating this or getting demotivated or just doing time pass things, then after the 2-3 hours time, I would have a guilty feeling that just to be honest, maybe because of the 2-3 hours time pass I did somewhere back then, that 1 mark difference got me here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what would you do? So because of that guilty feeling, you would never have this kind of.
I had my times. I did those 2-3 hours time pass thing I did, but that guilt portion was so strong that after those 2-3 hours, what output I was producing after those 2-3 hours was equivalent to a day's work.
Oh, okay. So how long would you study in those 3 months? I mean, every day, a lot of people say they study 14 hours, 15 hours. What was your number, or what does number matter at all? I
do not believe in the hours of study. I basically divided the entire syllabus in some portions that I need to complete, approximately 90-day time frame hota hai. So I would say 90-day time frame, 10 days for mock test and the final revision thing. So approximately 80 days. So I basically initially planned for 2 revisions. So I divided the entire syllabus into small portions like that. And whatever, like for first day, if my portion is complete, even if it is 4 hours, then my day is off for study.
Oh, okay. But what is the maximum you studied any day?
Maximum, it even got to say 16-17 hours when I was studying audit and taxation subjects. So it was comfortable because when I was doing SFM or the lesser theory-oriented subjects, it was reduced to 10-9 hours as well. So it was balanced.
But this 17-18 hours, there were a lot of days. I mean, or let's say out of total 90 days, how many days would you think will be the 16-17 hours? How much percentage?
You could say 10-20%.
That's it. But otherwise, on an average, what would you put the number of daily
preparation? On an average, I would say 12 hours was on an average.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Very interesting. So for you, what is your favorite subject?
I would say SFM.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Okay. So I also teach SFM, by the way. Okay. That was my favorite subject as well. And what is your most scoring subject in the marks that you got?
I scored in most in SFM only.
How much did you get in SFM? I'm not aware of your marks.
87.
But you thought that is your most scoring subject before the exam?
Actually, before the exams, I have this habit. I do not contemplate over the papers after I have written them.
No. I meant during the time of preparation, did you have any target saying that, I will, my most scoring subject is SFM or my most scoring subject is FR? Did you ever think of it, or you never thought of it?
No, I never got the thought of that because you might be aware the SFM paper trend was a bit tougher before this attempt.
Yeah.
So it was like this attempt also, the SFM paper would be unpredictable. So I couldn't put a number key exactly how much I could score in SFM.
Okay, okay, fair enough. So just tell me one thing again, slightly going back. Was your preparation for CA final any different from your preparation for, let's say, CA Inter or your CPT? I mean, I know you have grown as a person. You know, it's been 3-4 years and all of that. That apart, what are the learnings that you got from your CPT preparation, CA Inter preparation, which you used in CA final?
So CA, CPT and intermediate exams are like you go to coaching or you do online classes, you are at home preparing all the time. But when it comes to CA panel, you have a work-life balance. You have to manage office as well. You are learning new things every day. And there is a constant, I mean, CA final pressure is something different because after CA finals, you have to just brace on and enter the corporate world or enter practice or whatever you want to do. So back of the mind वो टेंशन हमेशा रहता है कि क्लियर होने के बाद भी what would you do?
Okay, fair enough. So you, that was different in your thought process for the
yes,
for
that was
final.
Different. Yes, that was different.
But preparation per se, I mean, would you have spent 8 hours preparing for CA Inter versus now you're preparing 12 hours? Is there any such difference?
The study approach always remained the same since my school days. I would try to complete the entire thing that has been given to me, that is expected by the school or the institute to I should know as a CA final student or as a chartered accountant. So I would try to cover all of them. There was no a drastic change in that study approach. The studying method varied, balancing the work hours and how would I devote time during the articleship period to the study. But the concept, the overall basic aim was to cover the entire syllabus.
Okay, fair enough. And you stuck to the study material, or you took a lot of reference books and past exam papers, answers, everything?
I basically did the study material comprehensively, and I am grateful to Google, I would say, because intermediate we do not get much exposure to case studies or real life examples. They ourselves are not much interested, or okay, book mein jo likha hai kar lete hain.
Correct.
But in CA final we get exposure to the real life examples and the case studies. So basically I would just go on Google and shoot the search button, show me case studies related to this. So that helped me develop my interest in the subject as well and got me a broader knowledge.
Oh, so okay. So it was not just bookish knowledge, but you were more focused on getting the practical exposure as well. Yeah, but so which all subjects did you take? Go for coaching, whether it is online or physical?
I did coaching for all subjects.
All subjects. And you are based out of Indore, right?
Yes.
Yes. So you did your articleship also in Indore?
I did my first 2 years from Indore, and then I am currently serving as an industrial trainee at the Hindustan Unilever.
HUL?
Yeah.
But that is based out of Indore or Mumbai?
Mumbai.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Great. So now the other question that I have is, do you believe in this whole concept of group studies, or were you always studying on your own?
I actually like studying on my own because I have a bizarre way of study. I would sometimes study on morning, I would sometimes do late nights, whatever time suits me. Okay. And with group, you have to adjust to a suitable timetable for all of them.
Yes. So but was there any buddy that you had or any friend whom you constantly use as a sounding board, discuss problems or ask doubts?
That I had, I would say 3-4 people were there who we were preparing together. So there will be some things like I was struggling with audit and they had audit experience at a Big Four. So they obviously have an upper hand in that subject as compared to me. So they would teach me that, and I was pretty much exposed to the finance sector during my practical experience as well. So I would be in a better position to explain them कि ये concept ऐसा apply होता है. So that was the relationship I had with my friends.
Very interesting. So, but one more again, very often asked question. Were you on social media or off social media during preparation?
I used social media. That is not the case that I was completely off. I was on even during the exams, but the use was limited, just to check some important messages. And if I am taking a 2-minute, 5 minutes break, we always take a 2 minute look there. So I would just scroll down and see some news. I don't know if I could say some memes and jokes
correct, absolutely.
Just to make me laugh and just then get back to study.
So you were on WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook.
Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. So there's this one question that I want to ask. So you must have taken this offline coaching in IPCC, right?
Yes.
But when it came to final, was it largely online, or there also you had taken some offline classes?
I took 2 classes of offline, but then I shifted to the online mode.
So do you think there is any, fundamental difference or any positives or negatives either ways with this whole online versus offline, recorded versus live?
Both have their own advantages. In the physical coaching classes, live coaching classes have that you have to stick to their schedule. You cannot just adjust it whenever you find time or you are comfortable, you can watch them. You have to be there when the class is live or whenever the class is held at a physical location. But the advantage is you get to personally connect with the teachers, and after every class, like in the intermediate, I would have experienced after every session, after every subject was taught, there would be a healthy discussion outside the class with teachers. People will ask different kinds of doubt, and you will listen to them. You'll raise some doubts. You'll get to understand some questions that you couldn't even think of. So that is the benefit of taking classes in a live session or physically attending a classes. But the advantage with online or recorded classes is that you could watch it your flexibility, because when you are doing, say, I was doing industrial training, so it was flexible work hours, so I have to make my study hours as flexible as well.
Correct.
So
you think for final recorded classes are better, and probably for foundation and inter live classes may be better. Is that a right way to put it?
I personally think that, because in finals you have a lot of things to handle at the same time.
So just one more query. What are your hobbies? I mean, how do you de-stress other than the fact that you told me you both scroll through memes and others? Were you doing anything else? Let's say going for morning walks or anything. What would you do to de-stress?
Morning walk is a must thing. I just like the fresh air that is there in the morning, so that is a must thing. Other than that, for hobbies, I like to play with POP and the clay things. So flower pot making, some photo frames making, all those things I like a lot. So I did that back then also, although it took days for me to complete that because there was small breaks. But I did that, so it kept me refreshed. And I would say I don't know if you have gone through it. There are some short movies, some short storytelling videos on YouTube as well that are motivational stories, and some are just fictional.
Yes.
So that give you a little short break and you can feel refreshed, and there are always songs.
Yeah. So you never stopped all of this during preparation?
I never stopped it.
Okay. So basically the idea is you de-stressed yourself even during the preparation process so that you constantly maintain the momentum.
I think that's the important thing, because if you are continuously studying for 3 months now, then what happens in those 16-17 days of exams, you won't be in a proper state of mind, because you constantly दिमाग में चलता है कि एक पेपर गया. So excitement overtakes your concentration on exams.
Yes.
So doing these sorts of things during the preparation period gives you a bit of experience कि ठीक है, entertainment period आने वाला है, but you still focus on your papers or exam, whatever you are doing right now.
So in your family or in your surroundings or setup, what was that one thing which supported you during the CA preparation? The first thing, what is supported? Second question is, in this entire setup, what motivated you to do CA?
Support, I would say my sister has been my greatest support, because as you could figure out, I am a bit of an artistic person, so I am a bit messy. The notes, books, they would be lying everywhere. So she's the one person who would assemble them subject wise. Okay, audit is jagah pe rakha hai pura.
Oh, very nice. I wish I also had a sister like that who would help me.
So that thing she did, she would on the book shelf we had, she would pick up the stickers that okay, you need audit, just go there and take the book and keep it there only.
No, so is she also pursuing CA any chance?
No, she is preparing for CAT right now.
Okay, very good. But what influenced or what really motivated you to take up CA firstly?
Okay, so I wasn't particularly interested in taking science back then. So I chose commerce as an option, and when we do commerce as an option in 11th and 12th class, we basically have two options. I mean, back in my time, we had two options, either an MBA or a chartered accountant.
Correct.
So I evaluated both my options, and I found chartered accountant a bit more attractive option back then. So I decided that I will go with it first, and we'll see what happens with MBA post that.
Okay, interesting. So if you have to, let's say, give credit, and I'm pretty sure that your hard work is something that cannot, that will be the biggest driver of your achievement. But let's say if you have to give any credit to somebody, probably teachers, mentors, family, sister, like you mentioned, who would the next big credit other than your hard work go to?
I would say mummy or papa, because at times you said like we get frustrated or someone, so they were actually the target of my frustration.
That is very natural. As children, you're allowed to do that.
So they were actually the target of my frustration. They had no fault, but I was burst out. Why are you doing this? So
Correct.
they actually helped a lot by keeping calm at that time.
So they are your shock absorber.
Yes, you could say that.
Okay, so other than your hard work, they are the biggest, people who supported you in this journey. So did you have any whole mentor or anyone who's guiding you this process, or were you doing it on your own and speaking to people and all of that? Or was there any one specific mentor whom you looked up to who guided you?
I have been doing this through that.
Correct. So fair enough. So see, the reason why I'm asking this question is a lot of people believe that, there is only one way to achieve success. The idea is there are multiple paths. So for some people, mentor may be comfortable. Some people, they may be comfortable on their own. So, there is no, very set formula is what I'm trying to get. In fact, that is my next question. Do you think there is a set formula other than what you did? Is there any other, let's say a magic mantra, like you follow A, B, C, D, you'll get success? Do you think there is any such, set formula that you can prescribe?
There's no set formula because every individual is different in his own way. So whatever I would do for myself would not be appropriate for you, or whatever you did would not be appropriate for me, because my dreams, aspirations, my capabilities are different. The environment I live in are different than yours.
Correct.
So only you could decide for yourself that what is better for you. What I would say in the purely academic matter, if I would say, then you could only decide which subjects are your strength, which subjects are your weaknesses.
Correct.
If you would say there are, I would say, many people who out there who give that, follow this planner for 60 days, 20 days, and you surely clear.
Correct.
I would say they don't even know your name. How could they prepare a timetable for you?
Exactly. Very valid point. But if you were to highlight certain do's and don'ts for, let's say, a student who's preparing first time, let us take first attempt, then we'll come to repeaters. What do you think are the do's and don'ts from a preparation perspective for a first attempt student? Any, probably 3 or 4, what come to your mind?
I would first say what I have been stressing till now, that at the first instant that you study a subject, pick it up, do it comprehensively as if you are just here to gain knowledge. Don't just focus on exams. This will come on exam, so I won't only study it. I will ignore, say in taxation, we usually ignore the penalties and fines things that they aren't an exam. But in real life, they are very helpful to you.
Correct.
So just at the first instance, at least focus on the conceptual clarity in what the subject is all about. And as you progress, try to either the elimination method, you would eliminate some topics that, okay, I'm comfortable with that, I won't do it again. I'm comfortable with that, I won't do it again. I need to focus more on the topic, so I would do it 4-5 times again.
Okay.
Either that, or if you are not comfortable and okay, no, I won't leave anything. So just try to make it shorter and shorter every time you go through that subject. So when you do that, now you, like say you begin from, you have a picture from the biggest line to a dot. Correct. And you only have prepared it, so it isn't that you are referring to someone else's summary, so you won't get what was in his mind when he wrote that. Correct,
exactly. So you basically prepared your own notes. I mean, you had other people's notes, but then you created your own short notes or stuff. Were you also taking running notes as you were watching the videos, online lectures?
Yes, the scribbling was essential part of studying.
Okay, so you first wrote running notes, then you prepared your summary notes, then you studied from your summary notes. Correct. So you also don't believe in studying this last minute revision notes free, study through that notes on 2 days before exam. That really doesn't work.
I actually don't believe in, because as I said, that person doesn't know me, doesn't know what I have studied.
Correct. In fact, our ideas meet a lot. So in fact, we also tell students like that, please write your own notes. Writing is, 10 times reading. You remember something.
I personally believe it sometimes happens when you write a summary, you remember the whole context if you have written in your own language.
Correct.
So it isn't कि आपने summary लिखे, आप summary पढ़ोगे तो आपको उतना ही याद रहेगा. You will remember the whole context.
Correct. But if let's say there are repeaters, do you think you will have any feedback for them?
I would first say they should really decide. I mean, there are people who have been given 5, 6 attempts and they're still
Correct.
struggling. So I would first, I might be wrong, but I would first suggest them they should really ask themselves if they really want to do it, because that's a lot of time to invest.
Correct.
And
Correct.
it is difficult when you see your friends and other people around you going forward with their lives and you are just stuck in it. So you should first basically decide whether you really want to pursue it, and then spend some time planning honestly according to your strengths and weaknesses. Only you know where you require most efforts. No mentor, no teacher could tell you that.
Correct. Exactly. Exactly.
And
Correct.
once you do that, prepare a proper plan for you. Maybe you could use a white sheet and do the calendar thing and write this thing, that thing, and just stick to that at any cost. One by one, you will get close to your goal. And what happens, even if the luck factor that we call it doesn't play in your favor, you won't have any regrets back then कि मुझे ये भी cover करना था, तो ये शायद हो जाता.
Correct. Correct. Understood. So I'll come to the last question. I'll not take further time of yours. Last question, actually. So, is there anything that you would say, you would in your entire preparation? I know you got AAR2. I mean, always there is a scope for doing better. So, is there something that you would say, just the point? This is based on the last point. What said. Is there any small regret that you have saying I could have done this better, or I should have prepared this better, or is there anything that you would say, I should not have done this at all? Is there any that's must do or must not do? Is there anything must do or must not do based on your preparation for your attempt that you want to highlight?
I personally felt for the optional subject, I should have selected international taxation, because when I was doing that, I realized that the next paper is DT after that optional paper. So I just got a feeling if I have done international taxation, so my 30 marks would have been prepared in advance and I would have got more time for DT preparing that.
But what did you take actually?
It was risk management.
Risk management. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, great, Sakshi. It was really nice of you to take time and chat with us. I really appreciate, and we wish you all the very best in your career and future aspirations. We do hope that we meet up in future, and we'll see how things go. But all the very best, and all the best for your careers. Thanks a lot, Sakshi. Thanks.
Thank you.